reality is the new quality.
Doubling down on personalized content.
This audience really is engaged.
I'm very excited to talk to Youssef Omar, the founder of #OurStories. We're going to talk to him about how he shot much of his new Snap original on spectacles and how that impacted the kind of stories he could tell. Youssef, are you already wearing spectacles?
I am wearing spectacles, Peter, and I've been wearing them every day of my life since 2016. I'm filming you right now.
So Youssef, you are a huge Snap evangelist. Can you talk about the different ways that you've told stories on Snapchat?
Yeah, for sure, Peter. So I've been a mojo, a mobile journalist, since 2010. In 2012, I strapped a camera onto my head and I went to Congo, and this ammunitions depot exploded in the middle of a civil population. 2014, I was smuggled into Syria and covered the Syrian civil war, and we had broadcast equipment, but I was still using a phone and wearable devices. So I've always been fascinated by where mobile phones and the likes fit into the content spectrum. I then moved to India in 2016, and I was the mobile editor at the Hindustan Times. And we had 750 journalists across 27 offices. And my job was to train them all how to tell stories with phones. And their phones ranged from like an iPhone like 7 or 8 at the time, right down to like a Freedom 251, like a $4 smartphone. And I had to get all of these phones to create good quality content so people could film in the field and they could like create amazing stories. And what we found was that Snapchat was an amazing content management system, that people could be filming in the field and I would be able to watch their stories in real time and give them feedback as to what was working and what wasn't working. Everything that they needed to tell a story was in one app. I then moved to CNN in London, and I was on CNN's social media team, and I was working on Snapchat specifically. We had the Champs-Élysées attack, we had the Grenfell Tower on fire, we had the Vegas attack. And time again, before broadcast cameras could be deployed, what did we find? We saw people on the ground with snapping content as it was happening, and us as journalists, we were able to verify it and make sense of it all. Jumping into 2018, I left CNN and we launched #OurStories.
So how did you come to make a Snap original with spectacles? How did that come about?
I think the best and most important story that we told on spectacles that really opened my eyes to the potential to create empathy through wearable technology was we looked at 3 young kids in America who had limb differences, and we got the opportunity to tell stories through their eyes. The idea that we could not just have them film, but leave cameras with them, leave the spectacles with them and go away and come back in 2 days. And the stuff that they got when we were away was the best content of the entire documentary, the stuff that they captured when they were on their own.
What were some of the opportunities that spectacles created for you when you were making the show?
Things have gotten really interesting, Peter, with this third version, the V3s, because they have 2 cameras, one on either side. So they capture 3D video, which means that, one, we can put them into a headset and have potentially the most immersive experience I've ever had as a journalist, where it literally feels like I'm there again, where I'm looking back through my eyes, through my perspective. It's like looking at your memories. I think the challenges when we look at like wearable journalism and spectacles-based storytelling is frankly that there's no rule book. And that is scary to some people, that there's no guides of like what is a frame and what is the right way to create a story. It's a blank canvas, and I don't see it as a challenge as much as an opportunity to rewrite the rules on what storytelling involves.
So what does this totally new technology unlock for you in terms of storytelling?
So when you start thinking about like point of view or first person based storytelling, it's like a whole new storytelling grammar, a whole new language to explore. We can completely rethink the way we think about storytelling. And to be honest, a lot of those things slowed us down. Like, why set up a tripod? It was so contrived. Why put a lapel mic on somebody? It takes so long, and then they suddenly in this like static interview set. But what I do know is that it creates empathy in a way that we've never seen before either. You really start to see the world from somebody else's vantage point. And that's one of the big issues I see in the world today, is that we don't have enough ways to really consider or understand how other people view the world. And if we do that, we have more perspectives and we can understand them and we can empathize better with their stories.